Number 1. The double check. You've locked your front door. You heard the click. You felt the deadbolt engage. You are now a full block down the street when your brain, with the subtlety of a foghorn, announces, or did you, suddenly, the crystal clear memory of you locking the door becomes a hazy, unreliable rumor. So you do the walk of shame back home, jiggle the handle, confirm it's locked, and continue on, feeling only slightly unhinged. This is a classic brain glitch, but for some people, this isn't a minor bug. It's a system-crashing virus. This is the world of obsessive-compulsive disorder. OCD, the thought isn't just a fleeting doubt. It's a powerful and intrusive obsession that projects a vivid movie of disaster, a break-in, a fire, complete ruin, and it's all your fault. The only way to stop the movie is to perform the compulsion, the ritual of checking, but the relief is a cheap trick. It lasts for a moment before the anxiety comes roaring back, demanding another check and another. This isn't just being careful, it's being held hostage by your own brain security system. Think of it this way. Your brain's pop-up blocker is broken. For most of us, the "did I lock the door" thought is a small pop-up ad we can easily close. For someone with OCD, that ad has taken over the entire screen. It's flashing, it has its own blaring soundtrack, and the only close button is to perform the ritual. It's not a helpful reminder. It's a full-blown denial of service attack on your own ability to function. Number 2, the disaster movie mind. You send your boss an email with a minor typo, a normal brain goes, oops. Your brain, however, immediately greenlights, produces, and premieres a feature-length film where that typo leads to a stock market crash. You get fired in front of the entire company, and you end up living in a van, arguing with pigeons over the ethics of sharing bread crusts. This isn't just worrying. Welcome to your very own private IMAX theater of anxiety, a little something psychologists call catastrophic thinking. Your brain has a personal film director on staff, and their only genre is disaster movie starring you. For people caught in this pattern, the anxiety is intense because the mental movie feels 100% real, like it's a memory of something that has already happened. A friend not texting back for an hour isn't just them being busy, it's felt as concrete proof that they secretly hate you or are definitely trapped in a ditch somewhere. So what's going on? Basically, your brain's risk assessment department has been taken over by a hyper-caffeinated, paranoid intern who has been watching way too many apocalyptic movies. They see a tiny, insignificant problem, a typo, and instead of just suggesting you fix it, they immediately pull the fire alarm, call in a SWAT team, and start boarding up the windows. It's total, unmitigated overreaction. It's not that you're pessimistic, it's that your brain is an award-winning screenwriter for heart-wrenching tragedies that will, thankfully, probably never get produced. Number 3, the rejection panic button. You send a text to a friend, and they don't reply for an hour. Your boss gives you some mild, very gentle constructive feedback. For most people, this stings for a second, like a paper cut. Annoying. But you move on. But what if, for you, it feels less like a paper cut and more like a full-on emotional grenade went off in your chest? If that sounds familiar, your brain might have a faulty Burfuric hair trigger panic button. This is a very real phenomenon called rejection-sensitive dysphoria, or RSD. Dysphoria is just a clinical term for an intense state of unease or dissatisfaction. So RSD is an extreme, overwhelming, and instantaneous emotional pain triggered by perceived rejection or criticism. It's not just having your feelings hurt, it's a catastrophic emotional response that feels completely unbearable and can physically hurt. This isn't someone being overly dramatic, it's a neurological reality for many, especially those with ADHD. The brain's response to rejection is so severe that it can lead to 2 extremes, either becoming an obsessive people pleaser, terrified of making a single mistake, or having sudden, explosive outbursts of anger or tears that seem disproportionate to the situation. It's because the internal pain is that big. The worst part? The rejection doesn't even have to be real. A friend looking distracted can feel like a personal, vicious betrayal. Basically, your emotional security system is rigged for a hair trigger response. A normal brain sees a leaf fall on the lawn and ignores it. A brain with RSD sees the same leaf and immediately calls in a SWAT team, sets up a perimeter, and treats it like a full-scale invasion. Number 4, when joy goes ghost. Picture this. You take a bite of your absolute favorite food, the one you dream about, the one that's supposed to solve all of life's problems, and it tastes like styrofoam. Or your favorite song comes on, the one that always gets you hyped, and it just sounds like organized noise. Your best friend announces they're engaged, and instead of a rush of happiness for them, you feel nothing. A flat, gray, empty nothing. You might think you're just burned out, or maybe you're just over those things. But this emotional flatlining has a name, anhedonia. It's the official term for the inability to feel pleasure. and it's one of the sneakiest and most devastating symptoms of major depression and other mental health conditions. It's not sadness, it's the absence of joy. You know you should be happy, or excited, or moved, but the feeling just won't arrive. You feel like an actor faking your way through your own life, watching a world of vibrant color from behind a thick, soundproof pane of glass. Imagine your brain has a joy circuit, wired up like a neon sign. When something good happens, a switch is flipped, a surge of dopamine flows through the wires, and the big awesome sign lights up bright and buzzing. With anhedonia, that circuit is fried. The switch gets flipped. You see the good thing happen, but the wires are cut. The sign stays dark, and the silence from that unlit sign is deafening. So if life starts to feel like a movie where the color saturation has been turned all the way down, it's not you being ungrateful or boring. It's a very real signal that your brain's electrician might need to be called in for some serious repairs. Number 5, the compulsive body habit. You know that person who's always biting their nails down to the quick during a tense movie? Or maybe you've caught yourself picking at the same little scab for the 10th time today, even though every rational part of your brain is yelling. Leave it alone! We write these off as just bad habits, a little bit of nervous energy leaking out. But for millions, this goes far beyond a simple habit. Welcome to the world of body-focused repetitive behaviors, or BFRBs. This is when the bad habit gets a driver's license, steals the car, and starts doing donuts on your front lawn. It includes dermatillomania, compulsive skin picking, where people spend hours digging at their skin, creating wounds and scars they feel they have to hide, and trichotillomania, compulsive hair pulling, where a person pulls out their own hair strand by strand from their scalp, eyebrows, or eyelashes, sometimes leaving bald patches. This is not a conscious choice. It's a trance-like behavior driven by an intense, underlying urge. The brain feels a surge of anxiety or discomfort and screams, "I need relief, fix something, anything, right now!" And the hands, like loyal but not very bright employees, go, "Understood, I will now." Fix this single, invisible imperfection with extreme prejudice. During the act, there can be a brief sense of release, but it's immediately followed by a wave of shame, guilt, and physical pain. It's your brain's deeply misguided attempt to cope with an internal storm by starting a small, controllable fire on your own body. It's a terrible strategy, but the brain's dedication to it can be relentless. Number 6, frozen by choices. You open Netflix, determined to watch something. 45 minutes later, you've scrolled through every category, watched 17 trailers, read 30 synopses, and now you're too tired to watch anything. So you just go to bed defeated. Or you've stood in the cereal aisle for so long. You've started to recognize the security guard's patrol schedule. We call this being indecisive, but when this becomes a constant state of being mentally stuck, it's known as decision paralysis. It's your brain turning a simple multiple choice question into a life or death hostage negotiation. A simple choice like, what to have for dinner, doesn't feel simple. Your brain launches into a high-stakes simulation, running every possible disaster scenario. What if the chicken is dry? What if you regret not getting the pasta? What if your friends silently judge your choice? The fear of making the wrong choice becomes so overwhelming that making no choice feels like the only safe option. So, you freeze? This isn't just about being picky, it's a core symptom of anxiety disorders, where the brain's fear response is so overactive that it miscalculates risk. It treats the potential negative outcome of picking the wrong sandwich with the same level of alarm as defusing a bomb. This paralysis can bleed into every area of life, causing people to stay in jobs they hate or relationships that make them unhappy, because the sheer number of choices required to make a change is too terrifying to face. Your brain's what-if game goes into an infinite loop, and the only way to win is not to play. It's a tragic, self-inflicted checkmate in what should have been a simple game of choosing cereal. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.